All right, we're back on Slaughterhouse Sports, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching this content. Today we're going to look at Kameron Cody. He is a 6'2", 290-pound defensive tackle that pretty much he can play even outside. He's a versatile defensive tackle. You see that he, his head is, his head is low. He plays with that pad level. He really brings physicality, which you need to if you're going to be a Division I recruit. And he surges. Like, look at him right here, surges up the field, plays with that motor and juice, and after several of these plays, like, you could just tell he even has some energy, for that. He has the energy to even celebrate plays. And, like, look at this step right here. Like, he's a very athletic player. Like, watch this. He kind of runs this little skip step here. And this is pretty athletic from Cam Cody. Watch him right here. This little step right there. You see how he tries to go out wide, and then he's able to use his hands, disrupt, and win that rep. Okay, so he's tightly compact. He's a little bit smaller. Like, there's going to be players, like, that's the thing about him, because you can't really play. He's not really a nose tackle, and he's not 6'4". So some people are going to be out on him just because of measurables. They're just going to think, like, oh, his arm length is too small, or they're going to think that he's too small of a player. But I think he's twitchy. I think he plays with great pad level. I think that he could be a difference maker. Okay, I think he's big enough. I think he could be a really good player. He has wonderful speed. Right there, he gets held and still wins the play. And then you see him, like, he just has great energy and passion for the game, and it shows up in the joy that he plays with. Okay, so I know that some people might scoff at that, but I enjoy what he brings to the tape. Watch the physicality that he shows. He finishes through the play. And then once again, like, he's ready to rock. He's barking to the sidelines. He seems like that vocal leader on the football field. Okay, you can also be a silent leader or just be very matter of fact and be just as effective. But I do happen to love that about Cody's game. Shows very good patience here in the run game. He opens up the door. He dislodges from the defender. He uses his right hand there. A lot is about, like, hand-to-hand combat in the trenches. A lot of it is, like, stems from wrestling or stems from, just hand usage. And that's what the game of football is, in the trenches. And that's sometimes really fun to watch. Some people like watching quarterback. Some people like watching wide receiver. But in the trenches, you got to be a tactician with your hands. And he's able to run through, and, like, he just has rare speed for a guy his size. Like, on this tape, he has really, really rare speed, all right, surging through the middle of the defense. And I think that there's a lot of room to grow even for Kameron Cody. He goes to a really good school, St. Benedine in Savannah. Great football. Boy, he kills that quarterback. Great football, tradition there. And just Savannah, like Nolan Smith, who played on the Eagles, is from Savannah as well. He was a tremendous football player. The cornerback of the Houston Texans that they took from Georgia also is from Savannah. Really, really good football player in his own right. So Savannah has very good defensive football players, all right? And Savannah is just a great town for talent. Boy, there is a thankless job. You got to run that this block is coming over. Like, that the guard's going to be pulling. So you're going to get some lever right there, but you got to set that edge. And that's a thankless job when that guard is pulling there. But again, he shows that courage. So we have some courage on tape. We have, guy who's very fast, pretty damn flexible, plays with great pad level, going to one of the best D-line coaches in the country in Nick Eason, who puts guys in the NFL all the time. It's a no-brainer to come to Clemson. You have Murphy, you have Brian Brzee that have come from Clemson, Christian Wilkins, of course, a couple of years ago is one of the best NFL players. So Clemson has wonderful defensive linemen, all right? And boy, he's wide enough. He's wide, and he finishes plays. Again, he's probably not a 4 or 5 just because, again, he's on the smaller side, but it doesn't matter. He's fast. He plays with the pad level. He's going to eventually put on more weight, and he might even grow an inch as well. I'm not too concerned about that. I think he's undervalued. I think Clemson, again, getting a really good ad here. And I do give benefit of the doubt to Clemson and how they, with defensive linemen, how they roll with defensive guys, because Clemson, they just have great scouting for defensive linemen. But I love this player as well. So I really like Kameron Cody. Rooting for him, and I think that he's going to be a gem in this class. I think he could be a very, very good defensive lineman because he plays with awesome pad level. He has great speed and athleticism. And again, I think he's going to be able to defeat blocks. I think he's going to grow. And he has a high ceiling. So that's how I view the player.